presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are NC.
Royals baseball from Kansas City, where the animals were lined up in pairs. They were ready to board the ark, and it has stopped raining. And we should play without interruption tonight with the Royals and the White Sox. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre, and Joel Goldberg is coming up. By the way, tonight was supposed to be the night of the Royals Charities broadcast auction, and with the uncertain weather, it has been moved to May 17th. That's a game against the Yankees. All right, back to tonight. Nate Carnes will make his 5th start. He's had 2 good ones, 2 rough ones. What have you seen?
Well, I've seen a really good curveball out of him, and that's what we're going to feature here early. We're going to show you. It's a beauty. It's as good as any curve we've seen from any pitcher so far this season. You can see over his career, he's had a 194 opponent average, but this year, not far off of that. It's been a beauty. It's a 12-6 hammer. It's a pitch he'll use when runners are in scoring position to get guys out. However, he's got to be able to bring in his changeup. His changeup is one pitch that's really been good. In his first 2 starts, look at, he used it almost 27% of the time. Look at that ERA, 1.54. Last 2 starts, he's gotten away from it. Dave Island and him worked on this all spring. They've got that pitch down, but he's got to bring that back in. He needs that 3rd pitch to really keep him off balance.
After being shut out last night, when we come back, we'll talk about a pitcher the Royals have had a lot of success with. Fox Sports Kansas City is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. For all, for less. Well, when you face a pitcher, you hope you got 2 or 3 guys in the lineup that have had past success against that guy. Mike Pelfrey pitches for the White Sox tonight, and more than half the lineup has big numbers against him.
That's nice, and that's going to help them in the confidence department. Going up there saying, I've got this guy. That's what you want. And you're going to look at some of these numbers here from Lorenzo Cain, Haas, Moose, Escobar, Gordon, all the guys that are in there. They've had a lot of production, but in order to be successful, they got to continue to use the opposite field. Quit trying to pull him, and if you do that, you're going to fall right into his trap.
Well, we're only 1 month into the regular season, and yet the standings in the Central have the Minnesota Twins and the Chicago White Sox with a surprisingly good start. Joel will break down the division when we come back.
A rainy night has cleared up, chilly but ready for baseball at Kauffman Stadium. Joel Goldberg back out here on set in left field, and as for the Royals, trying to get that offense going again. But let's take a look at the big story around baseball, and of course a lot going on, but we are going to take a look at the return last night of Miguel Cabrera. Hits his 450th career home run. Hey, who needs to worry about timing? You're Miguel Cabrera, not a problem. Now, Brian Dozier just had an unbelievable season last year with the homers, but he's off to a slow start. And last night looking like what we saw last year with the multi-home run game, 6th of his career. As for the American League Central standings, it is early, but the Royals with a lot of work to do. The White Sox and the Twins will really be the surprises so far, expected to be towards the bottom of the division. Indians have been up and down, dealing with some injuries there too, and the Detroit Tigers playing good baseball. Royals looking for that bounce back tonight. Can they get that offense going against Mike Pelfrey? As Ryan and Hud mentioned, they're back after this.
Missouri Lottery. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. By Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Ford, going further so you can. Behind the pitching of lefty Jason Vargas, the Royals took game 1. Behind the pitching of lefty Jose Quintana, the White Sox took game 2. 2 righties tonight. The first pitch is coming up next. It is cold. It says 51 degrees, but the wind is blowing in out of the north, so a significant wind chill tonight. It should be a good night to pitch. Chicago White Sox over the last week and a half have been averaging about 6 runs per game. That's exactly what they scored last night to even the series with a 6-0 victory. Cody Ashe, the former Nebraska Cornhusker, will be the designated hitter, and he will bat 9th. All to face Nate Carnes.
Hey, if Nate is great, he could shut them down and get his first win in a Royals uniform. But in order for him to do that, he's going to have to bring in that changeup a lot more. We talked about it in the open. All 3 pitches mix him. Loves his fastball curveball combo, but keep that ball down. Use the defense. Big guy, 6'3", 225. Dave Island would like to see him downhill angle. Now, this is what he used against the White Sox on the 26th. White Sox got 7 hits, 4 runs off him.
Out to left field, where Alex is waiting and makes the play.
Our forward around the horn defense. Outfielders don't hit it there and expect to score. 5 outfield assists, tied for second in the AL. They got arms. Believe it. Whitley in there at second base.
Yolmer Sanchez with 1 out. He had a big night last night. He was on base 4 times. Scored a run and drove in a run. Good fastball at the knees, 0-1.
That's what you want to do. It's just his 3rd pitch. He's already got an out. Just make him swing the bat, throw strikes. Command the strike zone. Strike 1 will be Nate's best pitch tonight. Oh. Beauty. Yeah, now that's a guy up there, Sanchez. He just wants to take a look at that. He wasn't trying to swing at it. And now, too late. He got to go.
So 5 pitches, 2 down as Carnes gets his first strikeout. All 5 of his strikeouts against the White Sox on Wednesday came on curveballs.
Perfect location. Look at Salvi. Okay, Salvi did not want to catch that ball. He wanted to do exactly like he did. Just keeps his glove open and pushes the ball in front. He tells me he does that because he's better and quicker picking it up off the ground and throwing him out.
And pulling it out of his glove.
That's what he told me.
Ball 1 to Melky Cabrera. Well, I guess if you really think about it, if he's taking the ball out of his glove, he's just kind of feeling for it. But when it's on the ground, he can see the ball and maybe get the grip that he wants.
Like a cat. Cat-like quickness. Ooh.
Salvi wants him to come up and in on Melky. Up and out over the plate, and that's drilled to the gap in left center field. Alex cuts it off, and Cabrera holds with a 2-out single.
Yep, that's a ball just saying hit me there. Elevation.
Melky Cabrera just loves Eric Hosmer, doesn't he?
Get in line. Who doesn't love him?
When is he not either hugging Hosmer or have his arm around Hosmer when he reaches first base?
I don't know, but stop showing it. Oh, Uncle.
We got to get to the bottom of that.
What the heck?
Where's Joel?
I asked him once a couple years ago. I said, you hug everybody? He kind of looked at me funny, and probably looked at me. I don't know him. He looked at me as a probing reporter. It's okay to be happy, but the paying customer wants to see a good baseball game. They want to see guys that are friendly and powwowing. But just my opinion. I'm sorry I blew up.
It's okay. Do you feel better now?
I do. Feel a lot better with a little pop up here. 2-0. This guy, he's dangerous.
Changeup. That's a pitch we were talking about, and that was a really good one to Abreu.
Yeah, I don't know why he's lost confidence in it, but that's going to be a money pitch for him. Dave Island, look at the movement. Dave Island worked with him this spring to get confidence in that, and then he's kind of shelved it in the last couple of starts. He's going to get Uncle Charlie.
Two and two. Well, you're in the office during the pregame interview with Ned today, and we showed you the numbers when we first came on the air. That when Carnes has thrown his changeup a lot this year, he's been a lot more successful as opposed to the starts where he hasn't used it that much. And I point blank asked Ned, is that a coincidence? Does he need to throw that pitch more often? First 2 starts about 27% low ERA, last 2 14% high ERA, and Ned said, well, it depends on the scouting report, and it also depends on how he feels about that changeup in the early innings.
I understand. It's a field pitch, and it's got to be a thing that he's confident in doing. You have to be convicted in order to be successful out there with that particular pitch, what's working that night. All we can do is show you the numbers and then watch him. And Dave Island probably showed him the numbers and said, let's try to get back to that changeup. Good time to throw it right here. 3-2 count. A hitter is very hitterish, especially this guy. He's going to want to try to hit a gap somewhere. Outfield playing deep.
To Hosmer, who caught it like a hockey goalie. Nice glove save over at first. And the White Sox are down in the top of the first inning. Merrifield, Moustakas, Kane coming up. Merrifield will lead off again. So Mike Moustakas slides down to second. Lorenzo Cain third. Eric Hosmer fourth. Salvador Perez fifth. Brandon Moss will bat eighth as the designated hitter against a big man. Mike Pelfrey, 6'7", 240 pounds, making his third start for the White Sox. Throws a strike to Whit Merrifield. He was signed to a minor league contract after being released by Detroit at the end of spring training.
Big guy, likes to keep the ball down, but he's a fastball split finger master, and those two pitches alone can drive you crazy. A little curve, a little slider. Whitley took a nice rip there. Like that. Be ready. Pelfrey, he's a veteran guy. He likes to get ahead like he is right now, and then here comes the splitty. It's a ball that looks like a fastball but drops down, and usually when it's effective, it's down in the dirt. Starts it out about knee high. Hitters will watch the glove of the pitcher when a guy's got a split finger, see if the ball widens, if the glove widens out at all. If it does, he's trying to split his fingers on that ball, and it can kind of tip the, it can get him to tip his pitches. They're watching all that glove right there. His finger, his forearm. See how his forearm's twitching right there? It means he's changing the grip to the breaking ball. That's why right now they're watching the ball. You're watching it. See, now, if he's going to show it to the hitter, now he's going to go split finger. The split finger grip's trying to trick Merrifield, and that way he just goes into his glove and doesn't have to widen his glove and change the grip. He's shaking. Oh yeah, now see, he changed right there. Ooh.
Borderline pitch goes Pelfrey's way.
Okay, let's show you. He had him tricked. That little two-seamer's working. That's on the corner. Home plate umpire Adam Hammery rung him up. White Sox defense, Tim Anderson hit it to short. 10 errors. Really? You don't want to hit short. You want to hit it over his head and hit that gap. Get on base and run. Pelfrey likes his heater so far. It's a good one.
Good movement on his fastball.
Yeah, it looks like pretty wide zone so far. First hitter. Only 6 pitches in.
Mike Moustakas got last night off with Jose Quintana on the mound. 0-2. Moustakas led off in game 1 on Monday night. Scored a run. Went 1 for 4. He has hit safely in 14 of his 15 games with an at-bat. It's on top of a high fastball and grounds out to shallow right field. Sanchez throws him out, 2 away. Now it's time for AARP's Getting to Know Mike Pelfrey, who was born in Ohio at an Air Force base, but moved to Wichita as a young age. Went to Wichita Heights High School, where he became a Royals fan. On to Wichita State, and was the Mets' first-round pick in 2005. He is a Tommy John survivor, as many pitchers these days are. I've asked, is that even worth mentioning anymore? I asked Royals trainer Nick Kenny, should I even mention a guy's had Tommy John surgery? I mean, is it that exceptional of a surgery these days? I mean, everyone seems to have it. And his answer was yes. Sanchez backs hands and throws out Lorenzo Cain, and Pelfrey throwing strikes. His 3 quick outs in the bottom of the first. cold night here, and a cold night for Sporting KC's match, which is airing on Fox Sports Kansas City Plus and streaming on Fox Sports Go, taking on the New York Red Bulls. Ball one to Todd Frazier.
Arcia in the driver's seat. We're going to highlight a hot sock. Todd Frazier. He got a 9-gamer working. 9 runs. Been on base. You don't get cheated either.
Two balls, one strike. There are a few brave men on the field today going with the short sleeves. Frazier's one of them, and so is Nate Carnes. 2-2.
Sox are swinging a good bat, and the guy's got a 9-game streak going. You got to make sure you put that ball right there where you want it, just like that, on the outside corner. You make a mistake to a hot hitter, he's going to hit it hard somewhere.
Had him reaching at a curve. Bonifacio comes up from right field. One away.
Good breaking ball. Now you don't see the wind too many times coming in like that, do we?
Yeah, that would be the east, northeast.
That's a little bit strange, and that'll hold the ball in too on a pop-up, and Bonifacio had to come in pretty hard to catch that little doinker. It was potentially going to be.
Avisail Garcia with one out. And he's swinging at a curve. He swings at a rate at first pitches that would make Alcides Escobar blush. Hitting .382, which leads the league. And he swings at the first pitch 55% of his at-bats. That's the most in the major leagues. So he hits it out to Escobar. 2 down.
He's aggressive. Royals, their offense aggressive. But you know what I like about Garcia? He hustles. He runs hard. He pressures defenses.
2 down to Leury Garcia, hitting .288 against the league and .421 against the Royals.
Confident. Good level swing. Knows his ability. Knows who he is.
The type of player doesn't change over the years, but the way that player is described changes over the years. And right now, Leury Garcia would have the label of an action player.
Never believe it.
You hear the baseball people say that about guys of his style, putting the ball in play, running hard, fast, making things happen. He's an action guy, an action player.
Exactly. Which is a good label to have. You want people, especially when you're built like him, to be on the attack.
2-1.
5'8", 170. A lot of little guys in the league now. It's not, he's not the only one. But those little guys, big surprises come in small packages. So young ball players out there that may not be big in stature continue to work that big heart muscle. That's determination and perseverance and not quitting.
2-2. I remember seeing Garcia mostly as an infielder against the Royals. But with the trade of Adam Eaton, there was an opening in the outfield. He can play the outfield, and he's played it quite well. Tester for Escobar. Got him by a half a step. So 2 scoreless innings for Nate Carnes. Middle of the order coming up for the Royals in the bottom of the second. Well, tonight wouldn't be a great night to wear your new Zubaz, but you can get your own pair coming up on Friday. Zubaz Palooza. It's a theme ticket, which includes these comfy Zubaz pants and a seat for the game. And you can only purchase those tickets online at royals.com/theme tickets. Unless they have some fleece lined Zubaz.
That might be for next year.
Hosmer, great swing. Royals have their first base runner. Hosmer's on to begin the bottom of the second inning. Let's go down to Joel.
And Hosmer's right over my shoulder, same as Rusty Kuntz. Now, back when Rusty Kuntz was working in Seattle and in Florida as a base coach, Rick Renteria, now the manager of the White Sox, was a player there. And he said that Rusty back then was the same guy, late 80s, early 90s. Energy, positive, creative. I drew from him. Then I talked to Rusty about Renteria, and he said he just had an attention to detail, a loving and caring personality, would light up the room when he walked in. Not a gifted player, but a baseball player. Thought he'll be a decent big league career, but a great coach one day. Kind of sounds, guys, like the way Rusty was describing Renteria is exactly what Rusty is today. And as Rusty was telling me that, he said, I've got goosebumps just talking about him. You could see it right now. This guy is absolutely incredible the way he goes about his business.
He was one of those guys that had interviewed quite a bit for big league jobs, long-time major league coach, and got a great opportunity to manage a young Cubs team, and then the Cubs let him go after 1 year. He was still under contract when Joe Madden became available.
Yep.
Off the end of the bat, and foul off to the right field side.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that Renteria would have done exactly what Joe Madden did. You know, you're only as good as your players. If you got talented players, you're going to win. He certainly wouldn't have hurt him. I guarantee you that. But, you know, ownership can do what they want. They can hire who they want in there.
Salvi broke his bat and then hit one off of his foot. Where the handle come off?
Snapped right in two. Look at that. Oh man, yeah, you hit the ball down there on the pine tar, and then across your back like that, just snapped it in two.
I was always told great sinkers are fouled down by a hitter's feet. Good sinkers result in double plays. And Mike Pelfrey, if you go back to 2015, has the most double plays in the major leagues. Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard, sharing that distinction with Carlos Martinez and Martin Perez.
Try to keep the ball away from Salvi. That drifted back in. We talked earlier in this game about the success that the Royals hitters have had against Pelfrey in their career. And we showed you some highlights in Joel's pregame show, and also early on. Most of the success were opposite field hits off of Pelfrey. They weren't trying to do too much. And they just were hitting it where it's pitched and not trying to pull everything.
Trying to change his eye level. Narvaez gave Pelfrey the high target, thinking that Salvi would chase it, and he did.
Yeah. See, now they're going to set up the split finger. When you have a guy with a good split finger, that fastball split combo works well. You throw that high heater, and then next thing you know, here it comes, the splitty.
Pulled on the ground to third. Frazier to second one. And the White Sox, a much improved defensive team, turn a 5-4-3 double play. So 55 ground ball double plays for Pelfrey going back to the beginning of 2015.
Well, that's exactly what we were talking about here. You know, you were setting it up with that double play, but it's the fastball breaking ball combination that's going to get it now. Split finger, curve, slider. But Salvi's out front. You try to pull him. Lots of time you hit on the ground.
Alex Gordon with 2 outs. Slow breaking ball, 64 miles an hour. Alex is batting .187. He has hit safely in 5 of his last 6 games. Out in front, 1 ball, 1 strike. Six Royals in the lineup tonight have good career numbers against Pelfrey. Slow, slower, and slowest.
He's taking advantage of guys that like to pull. That's why you got to sit back and just use that left side. Now Alex is holding his hands a little bit lower than normal. That's a nice little variation there.
Yes, it is.
Fast to slow. Mess you up. Your timing.
Off the end of the bat and right to Sanchez. The Royals get a leadoff single, but with the double play, Pelfrey faces only 3 Royals in the second. very chilly night at Kauffman Stadium. Nate Carnes back to work. And we look at our Toyota League leaders. Two pitching staffs who for the most part have gotten off to a good start. Most games in the major leagues allowing 2 runs or fewer, and the Royals and White Sox are tied at 11 apiece, and that is factored into this series. The Royals took game 1 allowing 1 run, and the White Sox took game 2 allowing no runs last night. Omar Narvaez 1-1. It's Jose Quintana, who turned in 8 scoreless innings on just 4 hits. Got into some pitch count issues in the bottom of the 8th inning. Otherwise, he would have had a shot at closing the game out.
Pretty impressive. I mean, in that 8th inning, wasn't he sprinting out on the field? Was out there before our guys even came off the field. You could tell, you know, that's body language confidence there. He had 2 pitches that were really working. Fastball, curve.
Little pop up, and Moustakas makes a play in foul territory. 1 down. And up comes the number 9 hitter, Cody Ashe. Born in Missouri, in St. Charles, and then on to the University of Nebraska.
I wonder if he played for one of my favorite all-time players, Darren Erstad. How long's Ersty been there? About 5 years, 6 years now?
Well, Ashe was taken in 2011. When did he take over? Maybe 2012, 2013.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's pretty close.
...2012, so he missed Cody Ashe by 1 year.
All right.
2-1 threw a fastball by him at 92.
You know, Erstad, he played for the White Sox for a little bit of time towards the end of his career.
Strike.
You know, it's hard to bring up Erstad's name and not talk about Alex Gordon. Both very similar type players, left-handed hitters, and were human darts when it came to crashing into walls. Aggressive, hard players, guys that just make the play at any cost.
Both intensely serious when they're on the field.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Alex is looser now than he was 5 years ago. Always very polite before the game, but at the same time focused. And I remember trying to talk to Darren Erstad before games. Very polite, but it was very clear that he had a job to get ready for that night. So it was going to be a very short conversation. He went around. And now Ashe has struck out at least once in all 13 of his starts this year. Second strikeout for Nate Carnes.
It's that curve, and it's a beauty, and he's going to use it, but we'll have to keep track of how many changeups he's using. But so far, that's his favorite pitch.
They are not picking up that pitch at all. All 3 curveballs that the White Sox have swung at. And it was Sanchez strikeout in the first. Abreu swung and missed at one before he grounded out in his first at bat. And now that pitch, especially the first pitch of an at bat, wasn't even anywhere near the strike zone. And it is a pitcher friendly strike zone tonight.
Yeah, and you know that curveball can be a nightmare for a young hitter, especially if you keep swinging at it. Go back to the dugout and say, man, I can't lay off it. Remember Mike Boddicker
when I was just a young punk in the big leagues in the Yankees. And he started his curveball out over my head, and it would drop in the dirt. It was like a 4-foot breaker, and I couldn't lay off it. I kept swinging at it, and you could see him. He just laughing. It was teasing. It was because it looked hittable. Oh, that's a good spot there. It's a way to nibble. Easy to nibble a little bit.
In on his hand, still 1-2.
Good pitch there. Set up a little breaking ball.
Carnes has thrown 9 changeups already. When he faced the White Sox on Wednesday, he threw 11 over 6 innings. So more of an emphasis on that pitch tonight.
Sometimes in a cool weather, that ball is hard and slick. It may not be as easy to get a good breaking ball, but it doesn't look like it's affected Carnes any.
Trying to play a mind game there. Salvi wanted Carnes to shake off a sign. And a breaking ball is chopped out to Merrifield. And so Nate Carnes has retired 9 of the first 10 White Sox tonight. Hackenberg started Team Schnack Cycling with his brothers to raise awareness of type 1 diabetes and funds for the organization JDRF, with the goal to alert the world to the symptoms of type 1 diabetes. Kent has participated in 16 national JDRF bike rides and has traveled to 48 states. Caught by Sanchez on a soft liner from Bonifacio. So Ken has traveled to 48 states speaking to schools, service clubs, and families. And Team Schnack has raised and donated over $250,000 to JDRF for research, sitting in the Buck O'Neil legacy seat.
Oh, way to go, Kent. And, he kindly sent up a T-shirt, one of the cycling shirts, glasses, and a card with the symptoms of type 1 diabetes, which is interesting.
Brandon Moss back in the lineup, like Alex Gordon and Mike Moustakas got last night off with Jose Quintana on the mound. One and two.
Pelfrey has a little extra in the tank. He can go 94 if he wants to, but he's stay around 90, 92. He's got good numbers. Double. 5 hits.
Ball's got some life to it tonight.
It's got a little hair on it, doesn't it? And that pitched into a lefty. If it's called a strike and it starts out 3 inches in, you can make a little mental note of that and swing at it. Knowing it's going to cross the plate on the corner.
Pelfrey using every bit of his 6'7" to make that play. 2 down. Well, we hope you'll join us in person on Sunday. The Indians are in town, and we'll have our annual salute to the Negro Leagues. And the first 15,000 fans through the gates receive a Monarchs jersey presented by Fox Sports Kansas City. Make sure to come to the K wearing your Sunday best to honor the tradition of attending Negro Leagues games dressed to the nines. Royals.com/NLBM for tickets. Slow curve, 65 miles an hour to Alcides Escobar.
Slow one. I don't think you want that one. You're not going to go up there and look for that. You're going to look for a heater, fastball. And Escobar is going to get some breaking balls because he's been a little bit aggressive, and especially that high fastball.
Three and 0. Even a 3-0 fastball isn't straight and down the middle. That thing had a lot of ride into Escobar. Hit well into left center field. On a cold night, it will not carry, and Cabrera catches up to it, and that puts an end to the bottom of the third. Both teams no runs, 1 hit through the first 3 innings.
Watch out for Jose Ramirez. That's exactly what you want to do at that ballpark. Split the gap, and you get a guy to leave his feet like that, that's a sure 3-bagger. Tribe up, 3-1. 5th inning. 6th now, excuse me.
University of Kansas Health System injury report, and we reported that Corey Kluber left the game last night with lower back pain. Well, now he's on the disabled list, which means the Royals will not see him when the Indians come to town this weekend. Good start for Nate Carnes. He has allowed 1 single in his first 3 innings. He'll face Sanchez, Cabrera, and Abreu in the 4th. Two teams in the Central that hope to win the division at the top of the list need to figure out how to beat the Indians. The Royals are 1. The Royals have lost 11 of the last 13 season series against the Indians. And the Tigers last year, just watching that highlight, the Tigers were 4-14 against Cleveland last year. Alex brings it down in left field. Sanchez is 0 for 2. And Detroit's off to a good start to reverse that trend this year. They are 4-1 against the Indians. So everyone above 500 except for the Royals, and Chicago leading the way in first place at 14-11.
I don't think anybody in the division's counting the Royals out. Way too early.
Melky Cabrera has the only White Sox hit. He singled to left field in the first inning.
And that was a belt high fastball, right center cut, right down the middle.
Here comes a changeup. Look out. And with the new netting above the dugouts, no harm with that low line drive headed to the seats. And a line drive like that, even Cabrera, he's played long enough to know that that's a dangerous foul ball. But thanks to the netting, that ball did not go into the seats.
It's perfect.
Another changeup, 1-2.
Got to protect one of the most important commodities of the game, and that's the fans. Feel comfortable sitting in those front rows back there, and you can be on your phone, you know, you can be doing your thing and don't have to worry about watching every pitch.
Two and two.
Pitchers nowadays, I don't know if they would know what to do with a scuffed ball. You see, every time the ball hits the dirt, they hand it to the umpire, and the umpire throws it out. And then I watch the pitching on the side at Dave Island.
Bobbled by Carnes, and Cabrera will reach. It's an error on Carnes. The ball had a lot of side spin on it.
Sure did. Hit the heel of his glove. He's a really good fielder. We've noticed in his early career here with the Royals. That ball has to bounce on it, bounce. You're almost better off putting that in your pocket. But he thought he could get him.
Came up on him just enough.
Yeah. Anyway, when the pitchers are throwing their bullpen sessions, the pitching coach always has 3 extra or 4 extra balls there. When the ball hits the dirt, they throw it out. They're just not used to throwing with a scuffed ball.
Abreu, another bad swing at a breaking ball. And explain what a scuff ball is and what a pitcher can do with a scuff ball, because there's a reason why they throw those balls out.
Right. Did you see that last one? That last one, he saw me handing the ball up. And when there's a scuff,
first the 1-strike pitch to Abreu. Oh, and 2.
Okay, you scuff. There's a scuff on this side of the ball right there. Okay,
from going in the dirt.
Right, it goes in the dirt. You hold it on the other side and you throw it, and it'll catch the wind pocket, and it'll have some sink. It goes down. And to a pitcher who makes a living throwing that baseball, he knows exactly how to hold it. Now, being an infielder myself, an outfielder, I didn't really care. I just grab it and throw it. He can make it dance, just like that one there. Kept it down.
No double play, but the Royals get the lead runner, Cabrera, 2 down.
Wasn't hit hard enough.
So a ball in the dirt, that nice smooth surface on a baseball gets roughed up. That's where
they call it a scuff.
Call it a scuff, but it's basically a roughed up section of the baseball, and a skilled pitcher knows how to use that to get extra movement.
And you know, there's eyelets in the heel of the glove that they put the leather, the stitching in, and sometimes a pitcher will cut the ball as he looks like he's rubbing the ball up in his glove,
put like a little thumbtack inside of his glove,
something,
put a little cut on it.
And that's where, you know, cheating comes into the game. And back in the day, they used to do it a lot more, and they got away with it. But nowadays, they're watching. Now those balls are going to the authenticator. Every ball that comes off the field, I believe, goes to the authenticator. That'll keep away from people pirating or whatever they would call that. What do they call that?
Pittsburgh?
No.
I didn't know that.
Well, what's the word I'm looking for, Holtzy? Forging. Yeah. You know, trying to trick somebody. Oh, this was the ball he hit. If there's not a stamp on it.
Because you're right. I would not want a forged breaking ball in the dirt to Todd Frazier from the May 3rd game. I want the real one.
With the scuff on it.
Right. You gotta have a play here, Hud.
Oh my gosh.
Bouncing up.
Nope. Too bad. Man, that was coming in.
There are stories of catchers. One of the buckles on their gear might be sharp, and when they receive the ball, receive the pitch back in the day, would just very subtly scrape the ball up against the gear to create a scuff. Two and two on Frazier. He flied out to right field in the 2nd inning.
We got a ball that came up the other day. This isn't exactly a scuff.
That's a rupture.
Okay. Okay, now this one came up and it was hit off the cuff. Okay, now look, but see, it's authenticated. That's what they put on. That's what that guy puts on there. A little sticker right there. And that's Holtzy's. That's his souvenir ball.
There you go. There are the stickers. Now, if I wanted to buy that foul ball that was just hit by Frazier, how would I get a hold of that foul ball?
You might could go down to the Royals authenticated shop or authenticator. What do they call that one?
I don't know what you're talking about.
They have a store.
The team store?
There's a team store there. You can get stuff like that. And I encourage you to do it. It's game used.
Thank goodness this inning's over.
And there's no forgery.
Or pirates. brought to you by Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. Find a servicing Steel dealer at steeldealers.com or search STIHL. And by Thoroughbred Ford. Every day there's a great deal waiting for you at Thoroughbred Ford. Whit Merrifield leads off. No score. Bottom of the 4th inning. Each team has 1 hit. There's that slow breaking ball, which Pelfrey has thrown as slow as 64 miles an hour tonight. Melky Cabrera coming up tentatively in left field, worried about the lights, and makes a play on Whit. 1 down. Mike Pelfrey, the subject of our sprint trivia question, sort of. Which 2 of the players on this list are the only 2 to play for 4 of the 5 AL Central teams? Pelfrey has now played for 3. So on that list, 2 players have played on 4 of the 5 AL Central teams.
Well, you know, they're getting trickier and trickier every night. And the other night, we had multiple choice and we didn't get it. Now they're staying with it. They enjoy beating us.
Now, at some point, or since it's been the AL Central? All right, since it's been the AL Central. Back our way and below. Are we going to get a bounce? Nope. Yes, we are.
Did he? Oh, he's got the window closed.
Would have been right into the radio booth, but the windows are closed.
Really?
What a waste. That ball doesn't deserve to be authenticated. Fouled away by Moustakas. I'm going to make a call right away. Jamie Carroll, Jason Nix.
Hey, those were my 2 I wanted to pick, but you know what? I think then I'll go with Wilson Betemit.
Still 1 and 2 on Moustakas.
Wilson Betemit and Pat Borders.
Moustakas grounded out to second first time. And he's giving away souvenirs.
Now, the souvenir baseballs will not be authenticated.
No.
With no sticker on them. You'll just have to tell your buddy, and he'll have to believe you. You got a foul ball.
He doesn't care about those balls. Two and 2 on Moustakas. Eric Hosmer singled, leading off the bottom of the 2nd. That's the only Royals base runner. Melky Cabrera singled in the 1st and then reached on an error in the 4th, and those are the only 2 White Sox base runners. Melky comes up and makes the play. 2 down. So I said Jamie Carroll and Jason Nix. Hud said Wilson Betemit and Pat Borders. And the winner is? You got one of them right, huh? Larry Cassian.
I'm not familiar with his name.
Ball one outside to Kane. He grounded out to second base in the first inning. What was the first year of realignment? 1994? 1994. Line, base hit right center field.
Could be more.
Garcia, Avisale, the right fielder that is, plays a shallow right, but Leury Garcia comes over from center and cuts it off. And Kane holds with a 2-out single.
Okay, I thought it was hit hard enough it was going to split the gap, but you know, it's cold weather and it was hit low, so it really hugged that grass. But look at him going to the opposite field, that he recognized it was a pitch up, and then he's going to hit behind the ball and reach out and slap it out there in that gap. They can only get one, but that's okay. That's a start with 2 outs. See if Haas can get the other one. Now there's right down the middle. That's center cut, but a good stroke. Way to see it. That opposite field swinging is the way to get Pelfrey. Hosmer had a nice opposite field single back in his first time up in the second inning.
Yeah, he's really getting back on track. He has a 7-game hitting streak with that single in the second inning.
Lorenzo Cain, he's the team leader in steals. He's got 6. Hadn't been caught. Okay, now
it's the 9.2 and the 22.4. Eric will tell you when he's at his best, when he's wearing out those two areas.
Okay.
Center field, left center. 1 ball and no strikes. He has added 49 points to his batting average the last 9 games. Strike 1-1. Here's the challenge for a competitive guy like Hosmer. It's very clear that the league is trying to pound him inside and get him to hit ground balls to second base, and they've done a good job of that against him. So the challenge is, does Hosmer think to himself, I got to figure out a way to hit that ball, or do I have to figure out a way to lay off that pitch?
I'm going to say lay off, get some walks, see more pitches.
Ooh, Kane was leaning the wrong way, and Abreu thankfully did not attempt to tag. Just kind of received the pickoff from a Pelfrey, and that was it. Very late getting his glove over there.
He was. Now, if Lorenzo can pick a curveball to go on, he's got a chance to steal the base. Because that's a slow pitch. Pelfrey doesn't exactly have a slide step.
Up and in, 2-1. But you can imagine as a competitor, okay, you're going to pitch me inside, get me to roll over, bring it in there again. I'm going to hit it a mile. Yeah. And sometimes you have to tell your ego to take a back seat.
All right. Tell yourself to lay off and look for your strength. They'll make a mistake for you.
Three and 1. Salvador Perez is next. Oz has 16 career home runs against the White Sox. That's the most for him against any opponent.
Salvi's on deck. Don't have to do it all. If it's not your pitch, let it go.
Kane runs. And it's inside.
Great try. I mean, that's a good practice right there.
Yeah, no stolen base. It was ball 4.
Good practice. Good jump. Had the bag. But ball 4. Good job by Haas. He laid off at the inside pitch. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, those are very unselfish at bat. There's at least 2 pitches in that sequence of pitches right there that a couple weeks ago he's swinging at.
That's right. And you know, the last runs the Royals have scored were with 2 outs. So maybe this is a good opportunity here.
Salvi grounded into a 5-4-3 double play in the 2nd inning. With 2 outs, Kane singled, Hosmer walks.
Abreu, the first baseman, he's way off the bag. Haas can get a good lead with a gapper. He'll score him. Both of them.
Riding inside, ball 1.
And now Pelfrey wants to get Salvi to swing at his pitch off the plate. Salvi's going to look for his. See what they're playing him. It's full. Big gap right here, man. That's nice right there. Salvi, he's hit it before. You can just look out there away and react in. He'll be okay.
Pelfrey backs off the rubber. Second baseman Sanchez was out of position as he made a move for the bag. Laid off at 2-0.
That's it. Wait him out. Deep breath. Exhale. Let the muscles react.
Out over the plate. And Garcia Avisail comes over from right field and makes a play. So no 2-out runs for the Royals in the bottom of the 4th. And we remain scoreless. Well, it doesn't feel like it tonight, but summer's coming. It'll be blazing hot before we know it, which means you'll be needing some cool beverages and a place to rest that cool beverage. Coming up on Saturday, the first 10,000 fans through the gates receive a Royals coaster set courtesy of Price Chopper. Royals.com, an area Price Chopper, or 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets.
Nathan Karns, so far in this game here at the K, doing a nice job. Check the movement on some of his pitches. That's a very nice changeup. There's a breaking ball. That's a curve. Another curve there. Getting the hitters to commit and getting outs. That's all he wants.
Six, 7, 8 hitters are coming up, beginning with Avisail Garcia. Tempted, but he lays off the breaking ball.
Check out Nate's pitch breakdown tonight. Yeah, he's mixing them up. More changeups. It's good. That was his keys to success when we, in the open of our show, for him to what we thought. And you know, when you look at the numbers, usually the numbers don't lie.
Just threw a pretty good one right there to Garcia. And that might be a pitch that he and Salvi are saving for the third time through.
Ah,
he's got good command of his curveball tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. White Sox have only 2 base runners in the first 4 innings. Salvi down and away.
Pain him away. Three hits, all been homers. Took him deep in starting Chicago just here last week. Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did, and he broke his bat, so it was the bat's fault. What did that bat ever do?
Well, just a little frustrating. Look at this now. Look, here's the trails. Check it out. Okay, that's down the middle. Yeah, that's below. You want anything out of the box. Keep it out of the box. Yeah, rats. Hey, it doesn't take much either from a strong man to hit his bat on the ground. Just you know, look like it balsa wood here. Look at that.
I was going to say that's not much of a bat, man. Maybe that was a blessing in disguise for him that he's able to throw that bat away. Bunted, but he didn't get it by the mound.
It's athletic.
Leury Garcia is 0 for 2.
Thank you. 1 pitch out. He'll take it. You know, looking at Leury, and we were talking about how, you know, 5'8". He reminds me of another White Sox player back in our day, or my day when I was playing, Craig Graybeck. Remember Craig?
Yeah.
5'8", 160 pounds.
Infielder.
Tough kid. You know, good athlete. He could swing, had a little pop in his bat. Played a little second, short, third.
Fastball strike to Narvaez.
Hawk called Craig Graybeck Little Hurt because he was on the team with Big Hurt, Frank Thomas.
Salvi put down some signs for Carnes and then thought twice and goes through the signs again. Curveball makes it 1-2.
We thought it was going to be a good pitcher's night tonight, and it has been. Tough to hit the cold.
Here's the changeup. Fades outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He has a good tempo. Throwing strikes. He and Sal are on the same page. Carnes has disagreed with very few of Sal's suggestions tonight, and as a result, 5 scoreless innings. our first summer fireworks and buck night. That's every Friday night home game, May through August. All hot dogs and peanuts, just $1 each. That's presented by Price Chopper. And then summer fireworks presented by Popsicle and Price Chopper. 1-800-6-ROYALS or area Price Choppers for tickets. Alex hit a soft liner to second in the second inning, 0 for 1, followed by Jorge Bonifacio and Brandon Moss. Royals have had just 3 runners against Pelfrey in their first 4 at-bats. White Sox have only had 2 runners against Nate Carnes in their first 5 at-bats. Slow breaking ball, anywhere from 64 to 69 miles an hour with that pitch tonight. Fastball has a lot of movement on it.
He's got some nice life.
Right center field, deep but playable. 1 down. Pelfrey still appears to have good stuff. And that's a very confusing term when you're talking about a pitcher. When a pitcher is described as having good stuff, I think the automatic response is, well, then he probably has really good numbers, right? Sometimes that's true, but stuff just refers to velocity and movement. And Pelfrey has had some rough years. 5.19 ERA, 7.99, 4.26, 5.07, and 5 so far for the White Sox this year. So hardly good numbers, or at least not numbers you would think for a guy who continues to get a job. But because he has the stuff, I mean, he's made some really good pitches tonight. I guess it just comes down to the consistency of the stuff.
Yeah, I would agree. And he's a veteran, and he knows how to pitch. But those numbers weren't too flattering, were they?
But it's enough where, going back to that term, if you're just evaluating stuff, and as you pointed out, a guy who's been around a while, you say, hey, let's give this guy a shot, man. It's not like he's lost his so-called stuff.
Oh.
And you got good stuff when you get a swing like that from a big league hitter.
Well, he's certainly good tonight. Let's check him out, what he's doing against the Royals. Look at that life on that fastball. Caught the corner. Willie didn't believe it. He's able to hit it right where he wants it in the situation. Nice double play turn right there. It's a ground ball pitcher.
And plus his pure size, 6'7", is going to give some hitters difficulty just because of that downhill plane.
That's right.
Fastball riding away from Moss. Moss grounded back to Pelfrey in the 3rd inning.
There's 3 left-handers in the Royals lineup that they're playing this pull defense on. Moss, Haas, Moose, and Gordon. Excuse me, that's 4. So they're going to continue to do that. It'd be nice to see some of those left-handed hitters start pushing a bunt down the left field line. Start doing it. If you show that a couple times a game, they're going to try to guard against that.
Up into the clouds. 3 Sox are there. Anderson, the guy in the middle, makes the catch. 5 scoreless for Mike Pelfrey.
Takes us to Yankee Stadium. Matt Holliday plays in the pinstripes now and hitting career home run number 300. Nice career for Matt Holliday. That one deep off of Marcus Stroman. No shock that there are some home runs at Yankee Stadium, and congratulations to Matt Holliday, guys.
That ball stuck right up in that net to be authenticated later at a later date.
That's right. That ball will be worth something, and we hope it ends up on Matt Holliday's mantle. Matt Davidson is going to bat for Cody Ashe. Davidson had a good series against the Royals in Chicago, and now he is hitless in his last 15 at bats. He started game 1, and like a lot of White Sox hitters, had a bad time with Jason Vargas, was held out of the lineup last night, out of the starting lineup tonight, and now comes on in the 6th. Good breaking ball, and how many times have we said that tonight? 1 and 2.
And he has one that he'll throw for a strike, and that's the one about belt high. That's a good one to hit. You can see Davidson, he kind of grimaced. He was like, oh, that was the one. And he has another one that's down in the dirt like that. And he knew he was toast. You throw him back to back like that, really has an effect, especially that latter, this last pitch here. That's the one that you can't hit.
They're just not picking up the spin on that pitch because, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, the pitch before looked like a hanger, but it's only a hanger if the hitter recognizes what it is. And it ended up out over the plate, but Davidson was convinced it was going to be a fastball up and in. So he's got a very good spin rate on that pitch.
That's right.
Or so it would appear that way.
Way to get the metrics in there.
Yeah.
That's 2 heaters in a row. Now Anderson's going, I know he's got the hook, but I gotta be ready for the fastball, try to fight something off here.
Carnes has struck out 4, all with his breaking ball, and now in his 2 starts against the White Sox this year, he has struck out 9, all with his breaking ball. 5 1/3 innings, 1 hit tonight. Breaking ball stayed up, but Anderson didn't have a very good swing at it. Best case, you see the breaking ball right out of the pitcher's hand, correct?
Absolutely, but the key to the hook is see it eye level. If it comes out at your eye, it's going to be a hanger. If it comes out around your belt, you're in trouble.
But if it's eye level and you don't recognize it's a breaking ball until about halfway, it's too late.
But you have to catch yourself a click. You see it, and then you just kind of hold your hands back and take it to right. Really is the easiest way. Or that's the best way to hit it. There is no easy way to hit a breaking ball, but it's a little bit easier. You know, it's up, it's hanging, and then you can be off balance and just catch the ball right because of the spin of the curve. And if you hit the back underside, you can be off balance and hit it out of the park if you hit it just right.
5 strikeouts, all with his curveball. 2 down in the 6th.
Show you a pitch sequence how he dealt on Tim Anderson. Okay, that first one heater, second 2 heaters in a row. Oh, okay, now that's how you do it. Fight it off. See, he's trying to fight it to right field. 94. So we're seeing him add and subtract from 90 to 94 miles an hour, and he got him finally to swing. Carnes is tough tonight.
The spin rate, by the way, on his curveball is 2312, 2,312 revolutions per minute.
Okay.
In case you're scoring at home.
Thank you.
0-2 on Yolmer Sanchez. He struck out on a curve in the first inning, and he's flied out to left field. And he was fooled so bad on such a bad pitch that he'll reach with 2 outs. So another strikeout on the curveball, but Sanchez is at first with 2 down.
Strikeout, wild pitch. Yeah, see, that one that starts out down there, you're in big trouble if you swing at that. Now Salvi tried to do all he could to kind of just get his glove on it, and it bounced way too high on the screen. So Nate Carnes has a chance to strike out 4 in 1 inning. And that's been done a few times in the big leagues, 4 in 1 inning.
And now Sanchez got a huge jump. Salvi really had no chance. He was going before Carnes delivered the pitch.
I was talking with Pedro Grifol, Salvador's catching coach, and you can see a huge jump. Okay, there's no need to even throw. Now we've seen Salvi just 1 for 17 this year. He hasn't even thrown in some cases. Pedro Grifol wants him to throw anyway because of replay. Even if you know that he gets a great jump off the pitcher, throw it anyway and get it down there, and you never know if he comes off the base. So just throw it, and you never know we can get it out. So he's wanting Salvi to throw the ball. Tira la bola. Spanish for throw the ball.
One and one on Melky, who has the only White Sox hit. That was a 2-out single in the first inning. He's also reached on an error. Two and one. It's been 21 years since a Royals pitcher has struck out 4 in an inning. Kevin Appier in 1996.
I might have been one of those. I couldn't hit him with a boat oar.
Which begs the question, what other types of oars are there?
Well, you told the story the other night about a hitter taking a table leg right up to the plate against, who was it, Nolan Ryan?
Norm Cash.
Yeah, Norm Cash.
No, but when people say a boat oar, are there other types of oars other than a boat oar? Forget it. Didn't get a lot of sleep last night.
It's Bobby Orr, hockey player.
So that is 4 consecutive non-contact plate appearances, 3 strikeouts. The third strikeout also included a wild pitch and now a walk. And all of a sudden, 2 on, 2 out for Abreu. First legitimate scoring opportunity for the White Sox tonight. And thanks to a strikeout, wild pitch, and a walk, which is Carnes' first, a cleanup hitter has a chance to drive in a run. Curveball, strike 1. Laid off the curve, 1 ball, 1 strike. Abreu was a cold hitter when the Royals were in Chicago last week. A cold hitter starting to warm up. And speaking of, Moylan and Strom begin to warm up. Checked his swing and took a strike, and it's 1-2. But now, since that Royals White Sox series in Chicago, Abreu's on a stretch where he's hit about .420.
That lady's hoping that she can see the first 4 strikeout inning this year.
And she will. A 4 strikeout 6th inning for Nate Carnes.
Nate, you were great. Outstanding work. Now get him some runs. Let's go, fellas.
No score and only 3 hits in the first 5.5 innings. So a good time for our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Denise Robeson from Shawnee. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Denise wins $1,600. Escobar fouls it off of his foot, and that stings a little more on a night like tonight. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Denise wins $25 grand from Sonic and the Royals. Escobar, surprisingly, has come the closest tonight to hitting a home run. He flied out to deep left center field against Pelfrey in the 3rd inning.
You know, you're going to have to get one down the line to get it out of here if you're Esky. That ball, the wind's just crossing from left to right. How about just getting on base? How about a bunt? How about playing some small ball? Looks like this is going to be a low-scoring affair anyway.
Escobar, Merrifield, Moustakas. He's got to start laying off that pitch. The league is catching on to Escobar's willingness to swing at pitches up. Even in a hitter's count, that was a 1-1 pitch.
Yeah, you know, you just got to stop doing it because Cleveland scouts are here. They're coming in next. And they'll be pitching the same way.
Slider away to Merrifield. He is struck out and flied to left. One and one. When the game began, Royal starter Nate Carnes had a 6.26 ERA, and White Sox starter Mike Pelfrey had a 5 ERA. But this game hardly looks like one from guys with ERAs that high. I mean, it has been a gem on both sides. And now Pelfrey is down to 3.14, and Carnes has his ERA under 5.
Just like a hitter's batting average, same thing. It goes up and down quickly, early.
Crack bat and foul, 1-2.
Hitters don't like that ball in on cold nights. It stings the hands, and that's exactly what Pelfrey's doing. He's a veteran guy that knows. Now, there's the two starting comparisons. Not a lot of hit.
And he's typically someone the Royals have knocked around. Pelfrey's career ERA against the Royals before tonight was over 6.5. And a solid sample size, 9 games, 8 starts. Only 2 quality starts out of his first 8. Out over the plate, up the middle and into center field, and the Royals have a base runner with 1 out. And Whit Merrifield has hit safely in 5 straight games.
That's it. He wanted it up, and Whit stayed on top of it. A little 3-hop worm burner. And right through the infield. And now, the way the offense has been going, and Pelfrey's a ground ball pitcher, maybe you put a little hit and run on here with Moose.
Really?
Yeah, maybe stir it up. Get Whitley moving. Moose could hit a gapper, could score him. Moose likes to swing early in the count, but he might pull the string, throw him a big slow curve. We've seen him throw that pitch in the 60s tonight.
There's that slow curve, and it's outside for ball 1. For 2 tonight. Moustakas is grounded to second and flied out to left.
Talked about the cold weather. This cool weather, the ball gets slick, and it's cold. It's hard, and it's hard to get a good grip. Well, the bat that the hitter's using, it's tough to get a good grip on that as well. So.
The hitters can use pine tar for a better grip on the bat. The pitchers are not allowed to use anything.
Interesting.
And it's been debated quite a bit because pitchers will say, well, that's an unfair advantage that we can't have a better grip on a night like tonight. Pitchers claim that a little bit of pine tar just helps the grip. It will not help them manipulate the baseball. Here's a drive into the gap. And Garcia, playing shallow, gets burned by that positioning. And the Royals are going to get the game's first run. Up to this point, Garcia playing shallow and right has paid off for the White Sox. And this time it burns the White Sox.
That away, sir. The Moose is loose, and that's timely. Just like you said, split the gap. Now he didn't need to leave. Ned didn't need to move Merrifield. He just split the gap and had that just nice spot. It just rolled all the way to the wall. Merrifield with good speed, and there's your run, Nate.
And now Moustakas in scoring position for Kane. High and tight for ball 1. Kane has one of the Royals' 4 hits tonight. Dan Jennings, the only lefty in the White Sox bullpen, warms up. And that's with Hosmer on deck, and then 2 batters after him, Gordon. Inside again, 2-0.
Well, he knows Pelfrey right here in this situation. Lorenzo Cain wants that ball out over the middle of the plate. So Pelfrey's broken a few Royals bats tonight with that inside heater, and that's what he wants. He wants to jam him so he can't hit one out in the outfield.
Plays off the slider, 3-0. Pelfrey is at 80 pitches. Jennings, I'm sure, is used to warming up in a hurry. In his first start, Pelfrey went 81 pitches. And in his second start, he went 90 pitches. Swinging 3-0. Lorenzo didn't do that very often.
Ooh, that hurt. Got a little bit big with the swing. Oh man, right above the pad. Cold day like today, like tonight. That's not what he wanted.
And what always adds to the frustration is it's self-inflicted pain. There's nobody to be mad at but yourself.
Right.
Out over the plate, and Kane goes the other way, and Garcia won't get to that one. And Lorenzo, with a throbbing leg, digs for 3. He's got an RBI triple.
Kane missed 3-0 and 3-1. That ball is center cut. That's right down the middle. A beauty and a great stroke. That'll get you back. And especially shallow playing Garcia shot it right by him again. So Moose pulled one in the gap, and now Locane going to the opposite field. And I believe that's going to be it for Pelfrey. Good job opening it up here for Nate Carnes.
So it's Jennings to face Eric Hosmer. Chevy called to the bullpen. 2 runs home and a runner at third with 1 out.
Miles here at the K. 2 nice big hits there. The 6th inning, here it was. This is your 2nd and 3rd hitters in the lineup. Moose got the big hit as the Moose was loose in the gap. Scoring Merrifield all the way from first base. Locane, after fouling a pitch off of his thigh, excuse me, off his shin, he says, I'm going gap shopping. Believe it. Right to the gap, opposite field. Love it how he's able to take that pitch on the inside part of the plate, middle in. Yeah, and give a little sign, a little love sign over there to the boys in the dugout. That's a beautiful thing to get Nate Carnes some runs.
And now the lefty Dan Jennings for the runner at third, 1 out. White Sox have a shifted infield in. Hosmer deep to center field, and Caught up against the wall by Garcia.
Wow. But another run will score, believe that. That ball was tattered and battered. And a warm night, that's way out of here. But, hey, look, it's all about scoring some runs. Haas did his job, and it wasn't messing around either. He's first ball, fastball hacking on that little breaker. It hung up right in the middle of the plate. Beautiful swing. Haas is getting it back. He's got a walk, he's got a knock. Nice play by Luiri. Yeah, and he's saying, no way. It's okay. That's a stake. And no at bat, sac fly. Beautiful.
So the Royals almost went with 1 out, single, double, triple home run.
How about that?
But instead, single, double, triple sacrifice fly.
I thought that had a chance to get out of the park. 410 feet he hit that ball at 107-mile exit speed. Jennings, fastball slider. A couple different speeds to the slider. One's a slow one, one's a little tighter. 89 to 94 miles per hour.
Two and one. Jennings is the third former Cornhusker to appear in the game tonight. Two balls, two strikes. Grew up in West Des Moines, went to Valley High School, on to Nebraska. And Nate Carnes will take the mound in the top of the 7th inning. We think, maybe not. Either way, the Royals will have at least a 3-run lead. One hopper to Frazier. And that's the inning. With 1 out, the Royals get a single, a double, a triple, and a sacrifice fly. And it'll be Peter Moylan on for the 7th. 3-0 Royals. Baseball is brought to you by Panera. Panera caters for every group, every size, every meal. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, for all, for less. And by the Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, longest lasting full-size pickup on the road. Find yours at your local Mid-America Chevy dealer. Mike Moustakas drives in one. Lorenzo Cain drives in one. Eric Hosmer drives in one. And now Peter Moylan is on for the 16th time. And this is the Royals' 26th game. So he's on pace for 100 appearances this year.
Sinker slider. 2-pitch mix.
Ned was saying yesterday after Moylan came on in the game Monday, he said, I've been watching this game for a long time. I've never seen a pitcher's arm fall off in the middle of an appearance. He goes, and I sure hope it doesn't happen to Peter Moylan this year.
Well, he's got these two righties, Frazier and Garcia. He's counting on getting them out. And he might even leave him in for Leary, switch hitting third place hitter this inning. If he can get the first two, he might as well just leave him in. We'll see. 3-run cushion. That's nice, especially for Nate. Nate was great, man. He pitched his fanny off, man. I'll tell you, 6 innings, 1 hit, 7 punch outs.
Out to Escobar, shows off his strong arm and gets Frazier for the first out. Royals fans, here's your chance to hit a grand slam on tickets with the Price Chopper Grand Slam 4-pack. You'll get 4 view reserve tickets to any Sunday through Thursday game and 4 Royals baseball caps, all for just $44. The Price Chopper Grand Slam 4-pack can be purchased exclusively at any area Price Chopper location.
Those fans look happy. Yeah. Sinkers, sliders, guys, hit. You know, you can give up a lot of ground balls. That's what he's hoping there. Garcia got him a new bat. Okay, cold night. I was telling you earlier. You know, we show you the little things they have on the on-deck circle. Now, the pine tar rag. That's pretty good to have that. But over here, right on the other side, see that little? That's a motor stick. That's a little stick right there. That's the best thing for cold weather because you can put it on. And it really sticks the bat in.
Like a glue stick.
Yeah,
right?
It holds them. But that's not what you want to use in the heat. In the heat, that gets gunky, and you can't get it off, and it's really not comfortable for a hitter. Oh,
Mike Moustakas. Oh, what a play.
Talked about Moylan's ability to induce ground balls. And Avisail Garcia, who hustles all the time. What a tester by Moose. Look at him get on top. He didn't have a chance to take a crow hop and throw. He just did that flat-footed. Look at the skills there. That's nice. Lateral movement, flat-footed, hose him out. Beautiful. And Garcia on the way back to the dugout tipped his cap to Moose. Look at Hamill. That's beautiful.
There are so many things that were difficult about that play. 8 out of 10 times at least, when a fielder makes a diving play like that, the ball is on its way down. That ball was on its way up.
And you have very little time with the guy that hustles down the line like Garcia. He had to be perfect to get him, and he was.
That's all feel and instinct with the throw, because he did not have time to set his feet, set his sights on his target. I mean, he just got to his feet and just winged it over there.
You know, Moose was an excellent high school quarterback, and that's a out of the pocket, staying on top and firing it out, throwing it out. But you know, it's very nice to see some timely hits, some great pitching, and some defense. Those are the 3 areas you need consistency in to win. The Royals know they can do it. They have that in their game. But we'll see if their bullpen can hold them out, shut them out.
Off the plate, and Hosmer just happens to be right at the bag to get the speedy Leury Garcia. One of the best defensive plays of the year so far. Turned in by Mike Moustakas.
Loose is loose.
Royals on top, 3-0, showing some world championship skills. Our Honda, play of the night, there it is. Play of the game, moves on top of it, right on top. He threw a dart, I mean a dart, straight as a string. It don't get no better. And to a very speedy runner. That ball gets by him, that's a double. They could get back in this game. But the key is when you score against an opponent this late in the game, don't let them score back. Keep the momentum. That play right there, that was a momentum buster to the White Sox.
One and one on Alex Gordon, 0 for 2. Followed by Bonifacio and Moss. Second time that Alex has led off an inning tonight. Two balls, one strike. Alex and Jennings did not cross paths at the University of Nebraska, missed each other by a year. Three and one. Jennings took over with one out last inning after 2 runs had scored, and he threw one pitch to Eric Hosmer, who hit the daylights out of it and almost homered to center field, but it was good enough for a sacrifice fly. Jennings got the final 2 outs of the inning. Three and two. He would be a tough guy to face, and I don't know if he's just a slow worker. I'm leaning towards he has a good feel for how long a hitter needs in the box before he's right about to call time, and then he starts pitching.
Yeah, no, we went over that in Chicago, and you're right. This guy, he's got it down. That delivery, it's funky. He slows down, then speeds up.
Just outside for a leadoff walk. RBI Baseball 2017 returns with fast-paced pick-up-and-play MLB action on consoles and mobile. RBI Baseball is packed with your favorite teams, players, ballparks, and more. Learn more at RBIGame.com and get RBI Baseball for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Now Bonifacio with a runner at first, nobody out. Pulled foul, 0-1. Jorge is lined out to second and grounded back to the mound. Soria joins Matt Strahm in the Royals bullpen. One and one. Deep short. Anderson goes to second on a bounce. They got him. And Nedjo says, I'm not so sure. No protest from Alex. He immediately heads back to the first base dugout.
Anderson, really good range there. That's a nice play. I thought that had a chance to get in that hole as a hit.
And the Royals will not challenge. No question that the throw beat Alex to the bag. The question was, did Sanchez have control of it?
And was his foot on the base? That left foot looked like it might have leaked off, but no replay.
Now Jennings and Moss, and that's inside for ball one. Moss is 0 for 2 tonight. Royals 5 through 9 hitters are hitless. Until now. That'll get Bonifacio to third. And runners at the corners with one away.
Hey, Moss looking for something up, and Jennings gave it to him. That's just belt high. Moss stayed short. Didn't try to do a whole lot to it. I like that. Look at the hip. See now the hips go first. Then the hands come through. Eye head position right there. Very nice hitting. And I thought that's a mistake. And Moss will take it. Clean single. And Jennings not having it tonight. But you know, look at Renteria. You see that walk? That's a good positive walk. It's a look at him. He's giving him some positive reinforcement. Little smile right there. You know, we talk about Renteria as a motivator, a good communicating manager, and there's some good signs right there. He's going to leave him in. You want to play for guys like that.
White Sox do have a right-hander ready in the bullpen, Chris Beck. Escobar has flied to deep left center field. He's grounded out to third. How about our first squeeze of the year?
Good call. How about it? He's got one out. Frazier, not quite even with the bag, and maybe a step it back. Just not even a squeeze. Just maybe even just bunt.
Safety squeeze. Bonifacio was not coming down the line. Escobar thinking about a base hit right there and trying to push it out to the second baseman.
You know, when you know a hitter's up there, and you know you're looking for the squeeze, the sign. But see, he just did that on his own. And with a lefty throwing, most left-handers fall off to the third base side. So after the delivery, you push the ball, and you push it right here in this direction, usually, because the pitcher falls off to the third base side, and that's an easy way to get an RBI. But he missed.
And now down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. One and 2. Well, when you're averaging under 2.5 runs per game, the list of issues is a long one. Royals are starting to spray the ball to all fields, as they have tonight. Another area for improvement is getting a runner in from third with less than 2 outs. Royals haven't been their typical selves. Situational hitting. Escobar has to avoid a strikeout here.
Jennings going to keep burying that slider down low.
Well, he's laid off back-to-back sliders. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jennings shook off the slider, wants to try and get him with a fastball in. Ground ball, fair, past third. Escobar comes through with 2 strikes. And the Royals have their 4th run tonight. Moss goes to third on the double by Escobar.
Now Escobar might have had a feeling after a couple of sliders he was going to try to sneak a piece of cheese by him, but you can't sneak a piece of cheese by a hungry rat. That's just his 4th RBI. He pulled it right by Frazier to pick him up. Very nice hitting. That's what he's looking for. A hit that means something. Get away, Esky.
So here's Chris Beck, maybe 1 batter too late out of the White Sox bullpen. Is presented by the authority of the Kansas City Royals. They may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler with Joel Goldberg, and with Brandon Moss at third and Alcides Escobar at second. 1 out. Chris Beck on the mound. Whit Merrifield at the plate. Infield in halfway. In the air to right field.
That'll do it.
Retreating Avisail Garcia makes a play on the line. A fair ball catch. Merrifield drives in the Royals' 5th run. And Escobar goes to third.
Way to go, Whitley. I think let's go back to Escobar's at bat. Let's check it out. Let's see how Dan Jennings was trying to get him out. All right, watch this. That's a perfect bunt. He missed it. Okay, it's up like that. Now he's going down. He's going to stay down, 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 and down. They're trying to get him to fish, trying to get him to swing at it, and then he tried to stick a piece of cheese by him. Couldn't do it. That's right. He pulled his hands in nicely, barreled it right by the diving Frazier. And that was a lot better than that push bunt. He would have got an RBI, but that double got him in a scoring position. Moss and Merrifield picked him up with a sac fly. Beck, fastball, low to mid-90s, slider, changeup. He's only pitched 3 innings.
Escobar and Merrifield have driven in runs in this inning. Moustakas, Kane, and Hosmer last inning. Moustakas hit a double. That scored Merrifield, and then he scored on a Kane triple. One and one. One and two on Moustakas. Been a mostly consistent first month for Mike Moustakas with a base hit tonight. He's hit safely in 15 of 16 games where he's had an at-bat, an official at-bat. Had one game as a pinch hitter and he walked. Escobar took about 7 steps down the line at third, and that got Beck's attention.
Well, you know, look where Frazier is over here. Esky can get this far down here if he wanted to.
Out to Sanchez in shallow right field. Inning over. 3 runs in the 6th, 2 more in the 7th. 2 innings to go, and the Royals lead 5-0.
Somewhere we've got to show it. 0-0 score until Moose ripped that liner in the gap in right center field. Scored Merrifield all the way from first base. Lorenzo Cain comes up and goes opposite field. Split the gap. Same gap. Right-handed batter scored Moose. That's 2. But then watch this play by Moose. You're going to like it in the 7th inning. Oh, that was a beauty. Look at him. Snag and throw on the line. That was a dart. Beautiful job. Pete Moylan loved it. And then Esky says, I'm not done. He picked up a ribby right there.
Matt Strahm will pitch the 8th inning with a 5-run lead. Nate Carnes went 6 innings and allowed 1 hit. 1 walk, and he struck out 7. Moylan turned in a scoreless 7th. Kind of looked like this was the way the Royals bullpen was going to be in spring training, in a save situation. Starter and Moylan, maybe Soria, handing off to Strahm in the 8th inning, and then Herrera.
Yeah, you know, I've always heard Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery talk about, you know, it takes time for the bullpen. It takes a little bit longer than, you know, than other areas to get situated. Sometimes a month, sometimes maybe a couple months before guys get in their roles, and that's the way it's going to be this year. Ned, not used to having a bullpen without roles for the guys, but it's coming. It's going to take some time.
Two and 2 on Narvaez. Will be followed by Davidson and Anderson in the 8th inning. Strahm has pitched a combined 4 scoreless innings since coming back up from the minor leagues. He began by allowing 7 runs in an inning and a third. Went down to Omaha, was gone for about 11 days, and now 4 scoreless innings over 4 appearances. And he begins tonight with a strikeout. By the way, he's only allowed 1 hit over those 4 innings since his recall. So the Royals were convinced it was as much mechanical as it was mental for him, and so far they're right.
Yeah,
a little tweak and
exactly. Plus, you know, that arm angle he's got. That's a very difficult arm angle, and for any left-handed hitter. Fastball, slider, occasional changeups.
0-1 on Davidson.
He just rare back, you know, anywhere from 90 to 95. Sometimes he'll throw a 96 right by guys, and he's fearless, especially with his commands on.
Up the middle, Escobar's waiting for it. 2 down in the 8th. Every time the Royals turn a double play, the next day McDouble sandwiches are only $1 at participating McDonald's and the greater KC, St. Joe, and Lawrence locations. Might have been premature to assume that Matt Strahm was going to be a back end of the bullpen guy in high pressure situations this year. After all, he only made 21 appearances last year, but boy, was he good. 22 innings, 3 earned runs, 30 strikeouts, and allowed a 173 opponent's batting average last year.
Impressive, but those numbers are enough for Dave Island to say, hey, look, guys, we have to find a spot for him in our back end of our bullpen. And that's what they did going into spring training. They revamped their bullpen around this young man here.
One and two on Tim Anderson.
Got some good lefties in that bullpen. Alexander looks good. Miners throws 96.
White Sox have one hit, and that was 3 batters into the game. Nate Carnes got the first 2 outs. In the first, Cabrera singled, and that is the only hit tonight for the White Sox. They have had only 3 runners. Cabrera reached on an error by Carnes in the 4th, and then Melky walked in the 6th. And now Strong has pitched 5 scoreless innings, allowing just 1 hit since coming back from AAA Omaha.
Holy moly, Stromboli. Keep it up.
Where Byron Buxton is hitting 160, but he is still an impact for the Minnesota Twins. Look at that play on a line drive from Chris Davis. Made some nice plays here over the weekend when Minnesota was in town. He had some key walks. Remember that? He's hitting 130, 140, but got on base with some walks, some bunt base hit. And man, did he cover some ground on that line drive. Chris Beck got the last 2 outs of the 7th. Here in the 8th, he'll get Kane, Hosmer, and Perez. Lorenzo has 2 hits, including an RBI triple and a run scored in the 6th inning. Royals had no runs, 2 hits in the first 5 innings against Mike Pelfrey, and then they scored 3 in the 6th, charged to Pelfrey, 2 in the 7th, charged to Jennings. 2 balls and no strikes. Three and 0. Lorenzo's already swung at a 3-0 pitch tonight. Fouled it off of his left shin in doing so, and it took him a long time to get back into the box, but when he did on the next pitch, he tripled to right center field, rifled it.
I bet he didn't swing here.
He normally doesn't. That's a familiar sight right there. Kane on 3-0, but he muscled up.
Yeah.
Against Pelfrey back in the 6th inning.
Too much. He's got 16 walks. How about make it 17?
Full count. Shallow right, where Garcia has played, and he makes a catch. That's backfired a couple of times for Garcia tonight. Time for the unlimited baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile, and Aaron Judge is homered again. He now leads the major leagues with 13. The Yankee rookie record, by the way, is 29. Joe DiMaggio back in 1936, and Judge has 13 already. Ryan Zimmerman's bounced back nicely this year. Kenny Vargas has driven in 5 in Minnesota's big lead over Oakland at Target Field. Ball 1 to Hosmer. 1 for 1 with a single, a walk, and a sacrifice fly, which flies out of Kauffman Stadium if we were playing in July.
Oh, man.
Maybe if we're playing here in a week from now, it flies out of Kauffman Stadium.
Yep.
Off the knuckles.
There you go.
And things are starting to even out for Eric Hosmer.
Yeah, they are. Well, he got a long way to go to get hits like that to even out as hard of the balls as he's hit. And he's hit some really solid atom balls this year, but he'll take it. High fastball, little jam shot. Kept his bat intact, by the way. And hit it where they ain't. That's exactly what you do.
Salvia is 0 for 3. Maybe another night and a different result. With that wind, a cold wind out of the east northeast, is basically blowing in from right center field. That hurt Hosmer in the 6th inning and hurt Salvador Perez right there.
Sure did.
Two down to Alex Gordon, 0 for 2 with a walk. And that hit him. Sounded like it hit him. Did that somehow get through his legs? Or did it go behind him?
Not so sure, but I thought I heard it, but
oh,
I guess that was it was the glove and then the shin guard.
Next time Alex is hit by a pitch, he'll have the Royals record for being hit by a pitch. Right now tied with Mike McFarland with 78 for his career.
He don't shy off anything coming in. He just takes it for the tee.
Two 2-0. Todd Tishner says no swing. Todd Tishner from Garden City, Kansas.
Okay.
And now lives in Holcomb, which is west of Garden City off of Highway 50, I believe. What do Todd Tishner and Dayton Moore have in common?
Went to the same college.
Look at that. Hit hard into the right field corner. Alex Gordon drives in Eric Hosmer, and now the Royals have scored in 3 consecutive innings and lead 6-0 in the 8th.
Oh, that's nice. See Alex rip one. Got it up. Didn't hit it on the ground of the first baseman. He took that fastball and just turned on it. That's very nice to see. 4-seam fastball. From Chris Beck. It looks like the Royals are returning the favor to the White Sox. They got him last night.
Bonifacio with 2 down. You were right, by the way. Dayton Moore and Todd Tishner both went to Garden City Community College.
Okay.
And to take it a step further, they are both members of the Garden City Community College Athletic Hall of Fame.
Wow. Is Tishner an athlete too? Must have been.
He was. I'm sure they're recognizing him for his being a major league umpire, but he did play baseball at Garden City Community College and also officiated football, basketball, and baseball while he was in college.
And, he's a big league umpire.
Todd Tishner, and he's a really good guy. Fun umpire to talk to. And we give him a hard time about this, but very early in his big league umpiring career, he ejected Jack McKeon, who was 80 at the time. So he has the distinction of ejecting the oldest manager in Major League history.
Gotta wait.
You're not feeling sorry for anybody, right?
I like it.
I don't care if you're 19 years old or you're 80 years old. When you're out of line, man, you're out of here.
Exactly. I'm sure there was some unkind words heading his way, and he's not going to take it.
You ever get thrown out of a big league game?
Never regular season. Only one spring training game.
Spring training game
doesn't count.
Yeah, but how do you get thrown out of a spring training game?
Called me out on strikes 2 feet outside, and I just drug my foot across the plate and covered it with dirt. Didn't say one word.
Bonifacio strikes out. The Royals have scored in 3 consecutive innings. 6-0 Royals to the 9th. Sign up at mypricechopper.com to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save. Matt Strahm was impressive in the top of the 8th inning, so he's going to try and close this one out. Phase 3, retired 3 with 2 strikeouts. He'll get Sanchez, Cabrera, and Abreu in the 9th. The Royals are 3 outs away from taking a 2-1 advantage with a chance to win the series tomorrow afternoon. Oh, and 2 on Sanchez.
There it is. It's the motor stick. That's the best thing to use in cold.
Don't want it to get gunky when it's hot out.
I'm telling you.
Is that a word? If you looked up gunky in the dictionary, what would you get?
That's just from the dugout. That's a term. Hey, look, it's too gunky. I don't want to use it.
Yeah. Another strikeout for Strom.
It didn't help him none.
Now I'm reminded that gunk is used to degrease engines, right? But is gunky a word?
Who knows? Strom getting an extra inning of work here.
Ball 1 to Melky Cabrera, who, aside from a strikeout and a wild pitch, is the only White Sox hitter to reach base tonight. The White Sox have had a single by Cabrera, a batter reach on an error. Cabrera was the batter, and a walk, and that was Cabrera. Sanchez in the 6th struck out and reached on a wild pitch. That's it. 1 hit allowed by Carnes, Moylan, and Strom, and that was way back in the 1st inning. Melky's hoping to get on base for a 4th time and get a 4th hug from Eric Hosmer. Two and 2. Coming up after the game, we'll have Boulevard Royals Live with Joel flying solo. We talked about the off-speed pitches being a key for Carnes. We'll revisit that, and the frenzied style hitting also returns.
Yeah.
4 strikeouts for Strom against 5 batters.
There he is. Look at that little sidearm action coming in the back door there. Melky, he didn't know what to do. The fastball was blown by him. The breaking ball went by him. And great job on the mound tonight. Timely hits. Solid defensive play by Moose.
Abreu is 0 for 3. When the Royals scored 3 runs in the 6th inning, that was just the 4th time this season that they've scored more than 2 runs in an inning. Drilled to deep left field, and the White Sox will get on the scoreboard with 2 down in the 9th. So the shutout is history. The Royals were just 1 out away from the 24th 1-hit shutout in team history. I will take that right here, then back in the 6th inning.
Oh, for sure. You just got to credit that hit in there. He hit his spot, but look at him pull his hands in, met it perfectly.
Frazier takes high. Back in the 6th inning, no score. Neither offense was doing anything. Nate Carnes struck out Matt Davidson. He struck out Tim Anderson. Then he struck out Yolmer Sanchez. But a wild pitch with the same pitch allowed Sanchez to reach. Sanchez stole second base. Cabrera walked, and there were 2 on 2 out for Abreu. So that was a very dangerous time to face Jose Abreu. But Carnes struck him out. Carnes struck out 4 in that inning, and now Abreu hits a home run with nobody on, 2 out in what was a 6-run game. Frazier said that was up 2. So he must have been complaining about a pitch earlier in the night. Out to Kane in center field. Well, it's not a shutout, but still pretty impressive. Royals pitching allows 1 run on 2 hits. It's a big night on offense as the Royals score 6. And now the Royals have a 2-games-to-1 advantage in the series.
Very nice. All right, like it. I have a chance now to get 3 out of 4 of the series here. That's exactly what they want. Excellent job, Nate. You were great. Fantastic work. Only gave up 1 hit. His breaking stuff was great. We can't wait to hear Joel break it down in the post-game show. But man, that play by Moose, he got him on the board with that nice hit. It split the gap, and a KCW. It's a beautiful thing.
So really good pitching in all 3 games of the series. Vargas and the Royals bullpen on Monday. Royals won 6-1. Jose Quintana and Anthony Swarzak last night. The White Sox won 6-0, and now back come the Royals with Carnes, Moylan, and Strom, and the Royals win it 6-1. Good night to pitch. Really bad night for a Salvi splash. Oh, let's go down to Joel.
No question.
Well, Eric Hosmer's not going to get the full bucket, but just a couple cuts. That's too cold. Salvi says this is how we do it. And this is how the Royals offense does it when things are going well. What changed for you guys as you were finally able to get to Mike Pelfrey?
We got a big hit from Moose, and he just kept setting the table. We had some good situational hitting going, and really cashed in that inning, and that's what makes us good.
It's obviously a lot of talented offensive players, but you're in the middle of that lineup. Kane, guys like that, as you start hitting, the rest hit too. How much more comfortable are you feeling at the plate right now?
We're feeling better and better each day, and you know, baseball, it's a grind. It's a long season, and we didn't start the way we wanted to, but it's not how you start. So we've been putting the work in. We put some good at-bats in, and we got to win this one tomorrow, win a series, and move on.
I know on a good night, you get the offense, you get the pitching, you get the defense. The offense came through in the 6th, but what about what Nate Carnes was able to do all game long?
Yeah, threw the ball great. You know, that's a hot-hitting team right now to hold them to 1 hit and hand it off to the bullpen, and the bullpen did a great job, and we had some insurance runs there late. That's good baseball. That's what makes us successful, and we got back to it tonight.
Good luck with that series win tomorrow, and go warm up. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
All right, thanks, Joel.
Eric Hosmer, and just like that, guys, a 7-game hitting streak. He's batting .385 during the stretch.
Good signs for him and most of the Royals lineup tonight. And with that offense, the Royals support Nate Carnes, who gets his first win as a Royal tonight. 6-1 final. We'll be right back.